The sun was hot. The air was still. It was one of those days where the heat seemed to hang in the air, making everything feel heavy and oppressive. The sky was a brilliant blue, with not a cloud in sight, and the sun beat down mercilessly on the land below. Two armies faced each other, their banners fluttering in the slight breeze that did nothing to alleviate the heat. On one side stood the Israelites, their faces set with determination but also tinged with fear. On the other side, the Philistines, confident and ready for battle. The Israelite army was brave, but they were afraid. Each soldier knew the stakes were high and the tension was palpable. They had fought many battles before, but this one felt different. The fear in their eyes was unmistakable, even as they tried to steel themselves for the fight ahead. A giant stood with the Philistine army. His name was Goliath. He towered over the other soldiers, a figure of immense strength and power. His presence alone was enough to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. He was very big and very strong. His muscles bulged under his armor, and he moved with a confidence that came from knowing he was nearly invincible. The ground seemed to shake with each step he took. Goliath shouted across the battlefield. His voice was like thunder, echoing off the hills and sending shivers down the spines of the Israelite soldiers. His words were a challenge, a taunt, daring anyone to come forward and face him. He challenged the Israelites to send a soldier to fight him. "Choose a man and have him come down to me," he roared. "If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Who would face this giant? The Israelite soldiers trembled. Goliath was too big. The fear was almost tangible, and no one dared to step forward. They knew that facing Goliath meant almost certain death. His spear was too sharp. It gleamed in the sunlight, a deadly weapon in the hands of a giant. The Israelites could only watch in dread, knowing that whoever faced Goliath would need more than just courage to survive. David was a young shepherd. He was not a soldier. He was small, but he was brave. David's brothers were in the Israelite army. David went to bring them food. He heard Goliath's challenge. He was not afraid. David believed in God. He knew God would help him. David said, "I will fight the giant." The soldiers laughed. They couldn't believe their eyes. A young shepherd boy, David, was stepping forward to face the giant Goliath. The battlefield was filled with tension and disbelief. How could a shepherd boy fight a giant? David took his sling, a simple tool he had used countless times to protect his flock from wild animals. It was his only weapon, but he had faith. It was a simple weapon, but David knew how to use it. He had spent years perfecting his aim, practicing day and night. He could hit a target from a great distance with precision. He picked 5 smooth stones from the stream, each one carefully chosen for its smoothness and weight. These stones would be his ammunition against the giant. David went to a stream. He knelt and prayed. "God, give me strength. Guide my aim," he whispered. He knew that his faith and trust in God would be his greatest weapon. "Help me trust in you," he continued. David stood up, his heart filled with courage and determination. He was ready to face the giant not with fear but with unwavering faith. Section 4. Words of War. David walked towards Goliath. Goliath laughed. "You are just a boy!" Goliath roared. "What are you going to do with that little sling?" "You come against me with a sword and spear," David said. "But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Goliath was angry. He ran towards David. Section 5. A Victory of Faith. David was small, but he was fast. Despite his size, he had a heart full of courage and a mind sharp with faith. He knew that his strength didn't come from his muscles, but from his unwavering belief in a higher power. He put a stone in his sling and swung it with all his might. Each swing was a testament to his determination and his trust in God. He had practiced this many times before, but today was different. Today, he was facing a giant. The stone flew through the air. It seemed to move in slow motion, cutting through the tension that filled the battlefield. All eyes were on that small, seemingly insignificant stone. It hit Goliath right in the forehead. The impact was so precise, so powerful that it stunned everyone watching. The giant, who had seemed invincible, was brought down by a single, well-aimed stone. The giant fell to the ground with a crash. David had won. The sound of Goliath hitting the ground echoed through the valley, a sound that signaled the end of fear and the beginning of hope. The Philistines were scared and ran away. They couldn't believe their eyes. Their champion was defeated, and their confidence shattered. They fled in terror, leaving behind their weapons and their pride. David had faced a giant, and he had won. He stood there, victorious, not just in battle but in spirit. His victory was not just a physical one, but a triumph of faith and courage. He knew God had helped him. In that moment of triumph, David looked up, his heart filled with gratitude. He understood that his victory was a gift, a result of his faith and God's guidance. David's story teaches us that even when we are afraid, we can be brave. His courage in the face of overwhelming odds is a lesson for all of us. It shows that true bravery comes from within, from our faith and our trust in something greater than ourselves. When we trust in God, we can do amazing things. David's victory is a reminder that no matter how small or insignificant we may feel, with faith, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness.